As Brethren Village kicks off its 120th year, I'm humbled to be in this position and witness an important juncture. The future of senior living is changing, but what we continue to see is the importance of investing in people, place, and innovation. Brethren Village has taken major steps in these directions, and you'll hear about those throughout this video. I continue to be impressed by the way Brethren Village leads the standard in senior care. The future of Brethren Village grows from the strong foundation that our past leaders and countless other individuals have fostered in sustaining its future. As the story unfolds through the video, you'll quickly begin to see a blueprint emerge of the future of Brethren Village, just as our founding leaders carefully planned for the many ways in which Brethren Village has grown over the years. I welcome you to join us in our year-long celebration as we celebrate 12 decades of caring.
Founders Hall stands as the iconic representation of Brethren Village's mission and presence in the community. When it was built, it served as a testimony to our mission that now the homeless had a permanent place of caring. While Founders Hall no longer stands, caring remains resolutely embedded in the modern campus that has blossomed in its place. Many with connections to Brethren Village have fond memories of Founders Hall.
I was a kid in our youth group at the Church of the Brethren with Christmas carols. And so I was probably 10 or 12, 14 years old. And every Christmas we went to Brethren Village and sang Christmas carols in Founders Hall. And we, as we said those days, the little old ladies came out of their rooms and appreciated. And there were some men around, of course, and would enjoy our music. And we cared about them and they cared about us. And so that was really my first exposure to Brethren Village.
The first time I was there, I was, my wife and I weren't married. We were visiting her grandmother, I believe, and she was in Founders Hall. And I can still vision walking down the hall in Founders Hall, and I mean, it was an old building back then, so I mean, we're going back probably 50 some years, and just seeing her, but she was so happy there.
Middle to late 80s, beginning part of the 90s, I had two grandparents move in, a maternal grandmother and a paternal grandfather, and they were residents in Founders Hall. And we used to come down, lots more probably over the summer than we did other times, but we came periodically to visit. And I remember sitting on the side porch with my grandmother and then taking her to the coffee shop. And both of them enjoyed just getting out of their room, and we'd take them around the campus in a wheelchair, and those are some good memories too. And I just saw how much that little bit of time we spent with them meant so much, you know, to them. Then about 15 years ago, my parents moved in, so now I'm a frequent visitor to the Brethren Village campus. The staff is very personable, they're helpful, they're very in tune to their residents. They greet them by name, stop and spend a little time with them, and I think you can really see that they truly care and value each person.
You feel you're helping people, and you're helping them to fulfill the rest of their lives in a meaningful way, because there's so many things they can be doing, and meeting new friends, new activities.
People are happy at Brethren Village, and that's their home.
They've done a good job of really meeting the needs of everybody that's here.
One thing about Brethren Village is, and with other places that do this type of service, is it's a people business, okay? And What we try to do is specialize our service based on that individual. By doing that, you need to build relationships. And relationships are an important part of how services are done.
If we get to know them and we get to kind of anticipate what are the things that they're going to need as they're here and their needs change, that we'll be able to have a relationship with them, and we'll just from getting to know them be able to help them along the way.
With the residents that receive care at either one of our skilled nursing facilities, those relationships, it's knowing and including the resident in their plan of care, not just from a clinical perspective, this is what we need to do, but asking the resident, what are your goals? What would you like to have included in your care? And the resident representative as well, because they should all be involved in that plan of care. And yes, meeting the needs of the resident, but that resident as a whole, mind, body, and spirit.
When I came here at Brethren Village and we expanded our social work department in residential, we meet the needs of over 600 residents. I think we do that by getting to know them. In the past, everything was kind of large group orientation, much more of when there was a crisis, someone would intervene. At this point, we've really backed up that process to being that person that they come to right after, as their settlement, and they come into Brethren Village, then we work with them very closely on helping them to settle in. We have a small group orientation, but a lot of the orientation process is spread out over a couple weeks and a couple of months to work with them individually on what they need.
Having our own staff who have been here and build relationships and know this is what the resident likes, this is what the resident don't like. These are the certain things that they want done a certain way. They know the family members when they come in so that they can know that, okay, this family member comes at this time, I want to make sure mom's ready. So when the family comes in. An agency person necessarily doesn't know, they know the basic care done. So that makes those relationships so important.
The wellness team really tries to focus on whole person wellness, so we really want to focus on getting to know them as soon as they come in. They meet with our wellness director right off the bat, and he gets information from them on what they like to do, whether they like the land, they like classes, they like the pool, they like just working out on their own, activities, and then from there he tries to put them in touch with a team member, whether it's the one from the pool or the fitness center or a class. And then from there, we try to bring them into the class or the pool, specifically the pool. We try to introduce them to other residents, really make it really social so that they're engaged to come back. We want them to meet new people when they come, and wellness is a perfect place to do that with our classes. And then from there, we want to make sure we do fitness assessments for them so that they have a goal as well, and we work towards that as a team with the resident.
We weren't ready for a retirement home yet. We thought maybe another 5 years. But then we got your letter in the mail, and we've always liked Brethren Village.
We do appreciate everything that we would request has been offered.
Yeah, the staff
And
here has been excellent working with all of you. Susie's been great.
It's not only a beautiful place, but it is also a place in which we have a lot of people who are very accommodating and treat us nicely. I really respect that, and I say, wow, that's good. This is a God thing, and we appreciate it.
So the people, they're so friendly. And I love the fact that I can now ride my bike or walk, and I can go swimming. We can go over to the restaurants. If we don't want to leave the place, the area, we don't have to. We're going to make new memories, and we do have a lot of memories, and they will always be there. And the bottom line is Dennis doesn't have to mow through the leaves, the snow, the ice.
But we are excited. So many things that are happening here, and I think that's marvelous.
We always come back to Brethren Village. Really like it. And we have a lot of friends here too.
We do. We have many friends here. And that means that all of our friends are old? No, that doesn't mean that at all. It's just that they happen to be here and they're enjoying this life, and I think that's what we want to do as well.
We want to give our children a gift,
If you want to call it
if
that.
you want to call it that, that they don't have to take care of us. And that's something that Brethren Village will do for us. You know, once we're in here, if something happens to us, I know that we'll be taken care of. So Dennis and I are not giving anything up, we're gaining.
We think about our baby boomers and we think about the resident of the future. We have made significant technology investments over the past few years and plan to continue to do so to make sure Brethren Village is a place that's welcoming, that has the services people want. We have made investments and spent a lot of time putting internet services throughout campus. So we talk about Northside Court, which is our new exciting project, and this all comes back to giving people choices. We have a beautiful building in Fieldcrest and an Oakwood House and Townhouse that provides apartments. We have cottages, and this is something in between. We're calling it private residences. We're very excited to bring the latest technology there with keyless entry, garages that are monitored, lots of things that we can provide residents peace of mind that they're secure, but giving them a sense of independence, easy access to 501 and Airport Road, and really a place that they can come to enjoy all the amenities of the campus and yet still live very independently.
So I can say this, okay? In the 20 years that I've been here in the renovation department, we've started with the renovations, and at that time, that generation was very, very conservative. So we did not do any major renovations. It was the simple paint, flooring, and basically appliances. Today, the request is more. The square footages as we renovate our cottages, our apartments, the needs are for open floor plans, taller ceilings, bigger square footage to accommodate for boomers generation that's come on board.
They've done a good job of really meeting the needs of everybody that's here.
Need to keep revisiting your vision and mission, but then understand you can't be all things to all people.
You know, one of the trends going on right now is something called concierge medicine, which is that individualized approach between a person and their physician. I think we've already set the stage for that here at Brethren Village, in that our role as residential administrator and the social workers is to, again, help residents as each step along the way. It's neat when we do the hospital visits. Families really appreciate that we're there, and most of the time it might be their first or just a few hospitalizations. So families a lot of times have questions too, because until you go through it, you don't know a lot of what the questions are, let alone the answers. How can we help make that successful? We have lots of options for things that can be put in place for them to come home. So we go over all of them as well. So really, they are in the driver's seat, but we help to guide them, go with them, and see how we can help them.
Communities with a long tradition like Brethren Village all started out as a small skill care medical type model. And as years went on and they grow, you start getting into the independent living residential areas and became more of the hospitality type service that you want to provide. And that's what I see in the future. There's no doubt in the future we need to go more towards the hospitality type in providing a service and personalizing that service to the individual. That's what leads to that great experience. And that's what makes the difference between all the other communities out there too, because when the residents come, it's their experience that they have. You can go to a lot of places and see beautiful apartment, all these types of facilities and services that they offer, but what makes a difference? It's the resident experience that they have. And how do you get that experience is building those relationships. And those relationships develop into trust, and trust is the cornerstone for any type of relationship that you have.
One of the ways Brethren Village is on that cusp of innovation is the opening of our short-term rehabilitation center. With that, it gave us the opportunity to serve both Brethren Village residents and residents in the greater community. The 20-bed private facility has both inpatient and outpatient therapy, which is very unique. Many of the organizations that are local, that's all encompassed in one building. So really opening that experience to everyone has been a great opportunity for Brethren Village and for our team members.
One of the things that we're trying to do in the future is to do a wellness committee made up by residents for that specific purpose, to come up with new ideas that we're not doing yet, that they want to be able to do. Studies show that people that are engaged and have a good time and are engaged in programs live longer. Moving forward, I think the wellness department is really excited to just be what our residents need us to be, and to create new programs and change with the time and bring in things like technology and the new classes that are starting. I think our residents are really going to want us to be the cutting edge, and we're prepared to do that.
I dream big, and some of those things are, I think in the future, we're going to see residents who help us solve these problems. We're going to have residents who want to use Uber for transportation. We're going to have residents who want to, stream all of their movies and all of their content over the internet. We're going to have residents who are going to have different demands, and we need to be in a position where we have the services, the infrastructure, and the facility that's modern and maintained, that we can have those infrastructure and those services to support the needs of the resident. So I'm very excited that the years to come, Brethren Village continues to financially set aside money, to spend money on ensuring our campus is maintained and is top-notch in maintaining its facilities for the future.
We are excited.
We're very
We
excited from
enjoy
our side.
what is being provided, and we think that the future is magnificent. That it's open, and we enjoy this opportunity.